Hey, today we're going to talk about and revisit the single plane trainer to show you how the golf swing is actually lead-sided.
So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. Years ago, I was frustrated because I lost that. I was confused, I was frustrated, and then I met Moe Norman and learned the single plane swing. And so now I wake up every day and I know I'm going to hit it well, I know I'm going to play well, I know I'm going to have fun. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing.
Hey, welcome to the channel today. Look, I wanted to spend today, I'm back in the studio, and I want to talk and revisit about why the single plane trainer teaches us and helps us reference why the golf swing, if you're right-handed, is left-sided, and if you're left-handed, is right-sided. But I'll explain those to you as we go through this. But I want you to understand something very, very importantly before we get going here is about impact. I want to look at impact for just a second, and let's take a deep dive into the most important moment of the swing, because I don't think enough time is spent to understand the position of the body, which we call metrics, by the way, and we've done enough studies on the moment of impact, and you realize when you study the moment of impact, and you can go do your own research on this, that the data behind impact in all players is very similar. In other words, the bend of the body, the side bend of the body, and the rotation of the body, the pelvis rotation and torso rotation are all very similar for great ball strikers. Look at Lee Trevino, Ben Hogan, Moe Norman. All the great ball strikers that have ever played the game have very similar impact positions. That being said, you'll notice something very important about the club's position at the moment of impact. And just take, I have a 6-iron here in my hand, for example, and if you look at the moment of impact, what you see is, forget about lower body for just a minute and look at how the club is aligning with this arm, how the body is tilted, how the shaft is leaned. So we have shaft forward, the trail arm will be bent, and then the position of the torso is open and the position of the pelvis is open. And there are certain ranges the body must hit. Let me do that down the line for you so you can see this, because it's so important to understand what we're talking about here in the moment of impact. Again, let's go through this from down the line. You'll notice that at the moment of impact, the club is lining up with my trail arm. The lead arm is visible above the trail arm. The rotation of the body is open. The pelvis is open. And so the trail arm is bent. So there you see my impact position. Look at the plane of the club here. So wouldn't you agree that we must get this club to the perfect position? We got to get this club leaning forward, back to its position, hitting its design, its plane, and impacts are very similar. Now, one thing I want to show you here is why it's actually lead-sided. So many people set up with a golf club in the middle of their body. What I want to show you is that I'm actually, when I set up, because I'm tilting before I set up, the club is actually pointing to the left side of my body. Now, if you're right-handed, that's where it'll point. If you're left-handed, it'll be the opposite of this, but it's pointing to the lead side of my body. So notice how, because when I set up and I form this alignment of the lead arm, the club is actually pointing right here, just above my hip. So it's lead-sided. Now, I'm going to take the club back and come to impact, and notice again, the club is again lead-sided. All right. Now, if you look at a video of Moe Norman, this is exactly what I saw with Moe. Moe being the greatest ball striker that's ever played, and that was, all the great players were saying, hey, the best ball striker we've ever seen is this guy named Moe Norman. So when I finally meet Moe and I see his golf swing for the first time, I said to myself, well, what he's actually doing is he's able to accomplish impact in an easier way. So how is he accomplishing that? So I kept studying his impact position. Then I realized that he was actually lead-sided. So I grabbed a broomstick, and I don't have a broomstick, I actually have our single plane trainer here, and I started drawing lines on Moe. So I from this angle of the camera, I drew a line on the club, and then I drew a line on the club. And I'm going to do this for you on video, so you're going to see what happens here. If I'm taking the club back from a correct lead-sided position, and I go to right here, it doesn't matter, you can go to here, to here, to here. So watch as Moe goes back on this video. Every frame I'm drawing a line on, frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. And you'll notice that every time I draw a line, it intersects in the exact same spot above his lead hip until he makes a full hinging of his hands. And here's what's interesting. When I did this down the line, and I actually did this with Moe, I handed him a stick. And I said, Moe, I want you to take the club back for me. So he took the club back, just like I showed you. And then I said, and he hinged his hands like this. And notice how it's on plane, right? So he went here, and the club went on plane. So there's his Moe at the top of the swing. Well, then I said, Moe, unhinge your hands. Just unhinge them. And again, it hit him on the lead side of his body. I'm going to show you that again, because this is such an important element that you ask why swing plane is important. You ask if you think, well, the most important moment is impact. I can show you the position of the club throughout the swing, which never leaves its relationship to your lead side. I just said the lead side's important because that's where all good players are at impact. So I just said, and this is why this is so important, I can show you a golf swing that never leaves its lead side relationship. People call this keeping the club in front of you, but it's not in front of you, it's on your lead side. Watch this again. So I'll go face on again. So here we go into the backswing, then we go to the top. You're gonna see this is now away from me. However, if I unhinge the hands, it goes to the lead side, and that's where it'll be at impact. So here's what happens during the swing. Your lead-sided relationship stays here. You still have lead-side relationship. You still have lead-side relationship until you unhinge the hands and it unhinges the lead side. So watch this, and I'll do it one-handed here. Notice when I have my left hand, how it's referencing the lead side. I'm going to take it back, and I'm going to reference the lead side again. There's impact. Okay? Here, lead side impact. Here, lead side impact. Watch my trail hand. Okay, so you see it's referencing lead side. I go back, watch this, lead side reference, look where I am, impact. All right? So impact is lead sided. And I want you to understand, because I'm looking at some monitors here, I'm watching myself do that. When I'm lead side relationship, when I have that lead side relationship, it is keeping the club, I call it the club to body relationship. In other words, if I start out with a lead side relationship, and I maintain that lead side relationship, maintain that lead side relationship, maintain that lead side relationship, guess what? Only place it can go is to that ideal impact position with a square face. So you might ask the question, well, how do you screw this up? It's pretty easy to screw it up. Watch this. And this has a lot to do with swing plane. If I take this, well, I'll go face on first. If I take this single plane trainer, and by the way, this has our training grip on it. It even has some references for face plane. If you want to find more information about this, I'll put the link in the description here. But look at how I'm setting up lead-sided. And if I ever lose this relationship to start with, notice that the shaft would be on a flat position. If I pick it up, see it's no longer lead-sided, it's in a steep position. So that's why swing plane, if you look at how I'm taking the club back and putting it on the plane, that is actually being lead-sided. So swing plane is the most efficient way to get the club back to impact. That's why swing plane is an important part of this. That's why we talk about the single plane swing as being the most effective way to do that. So again, let's just summarize this for you. The golf swing, you must set up with a lead side relationship. This is a pre-impact, so it's already in your pre-impact position. Not enough people talk about how the club must reference the lead side of the body, because now when you take it back and you come down, it can easily get back to its lead side. If you stay lead-sided, it produces swing plane. This is what keeps the club in front of your lead side and gets you to impact in swing plane. So all that stuff is what I saw when I watched Moe Norman, and I started studying the motion of the club and how the relationship of the club to his body kept it in a perfect relationship, which made it so much easier to get impact. So you wonder, why is Moe Norman, was he regarded as the greatest ball striker in the world? It's one simple answer. Because he was able to achieve impact, that moment of impact, more consistently. How was he able to do that? Because the way he established his body position kept the club lead-sided, and throughout the swing, he never lost that relationship, and that's how he did it. Hope you're enjoying this content. If you want to get more, hit the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.